Okay, so you've watched my other two videos. If you haven't watched them yet, I'll leave them down in the description down below. Now we're finally at the part where you've all been waiting for, my top albums of 2019. Girl, I'm excited. I'm ready for this shit. I am super fucking pumped. Let's get into this video, shall we? Woohoo! Hit that button down below, subscribe, click the notification bell, get notifications on all my videos. Let's get going. Let's get to it because we got shit to do. So as I said, I have a couple of nominees that I want to talk about really quickly. So our runner-ups are Miley Cyrus, She Is Coming. If you watch my other two parts of the video, I did talk about in the second part about some songs off that album that I fucking enjoyed. It's not on this list because one song I absolutely fucking hated. So, I mean, if I hate a song, I'm not going to put this on this list. Backstreet Boys' DNA is a fucking great album as well. I think that what really does deserve your time and worthiness. However, it was a January release, so it kind of got forgettable throughout the year, but it was still a fucking good album. Grayscale's Nella Villa. It's a good fucking album, don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't say it was my favorite album this year. You know? Khalid, Free Spirit, a really fucking good album. I really did enjoy it. It was also one of those albums that got a movie release too, technically. And I never saw the movie or whatever the short film was, but I did enjoy this album. It was pretty fucking good, but again, it just wasn't as memorable as other albums that are going to be on this list. Okay, so before I get into my top 10 albums of the year, I want to give you guys a little disclaimer now. Basically, I didn't exactly rank these as, like, if I loved one album more than the other. I do love all these albums equally. However, there were some albums that I found a lot better than other albums, so maybe that's why at the top of the list you see some albums that you're like, oh, I love this album a lot, but for me, I just didn't like it that much. So we're going to get started with number 10. Which is Pink's Hurts to Be Human, spelled Hurts to Be Human. This album actually was really surprising to me. I did not like her last album, which I think was Beautiful Trauma or something like that. I didn't really like her last album. I felt it was kind of like a cop-out album. I mean, I just didn't really like it that much. But this album actually really fucking rocks. A lot of the songs are really fucking good. They're emotional. Only thing is that there were a couple songs on there I was not super in love with. I didn't hate. But if there are songs I didn't really love that much, I'm not going to put it higher up. That's why it's lower on this list. You know? Kind of makes sense if you were to divide them up like that. Number 9 is Brockhampton's Ginger. Now listen. I love this album. It's a really good album. I got to see it live. I went to the Brockhampton concert. It's great. It deserves to be on this list. I mean, in a weird way, I kind of forgot about this album, but there's fucking great songs on there like Boy Bye, Sugar, Boy Bye, St. Percy, Ginger, Big Boy. All these songs are fucking great. This album is really good. It's at a good length, 44 minutes, 12 songs. It's a good aesthetic. I like the Iridescence aesthetic a little bit more than this aesthetic. However, I did find this album really good, and I would love to buy this album on vinyl if I could. Blackbear's Anonymous is at number 8. Now, Anonymous is a lot better than his previous albums releases. I did love one of his first albums, Digital Drug Lord. That was amazing. That was a beautiful album. I think it was on my album of the year list. Then Cyber Sex also came out that same year, and that was a good album fucking too. Blackbear's Anonymous, I feel like, was the better of the two albums. It kind of combined both aesthetics with me better, and I love a lot of the singles that got released. Like I love High 1X, that was a really good song. One Side Love, Too Close, Dead to Me, for really good songs. Pink Rolex was a good opener. I feel like this album was really good. It was really strong. It had a lot of good elements to it, and I feel like it was one of my favorite albums that he's released so far. So that's why it's on this list. Number 7 is Post Malone's Hollywood's Bleeding. I freaking love this album. However, compared to other albums that I listened to this year, it ranked a little bit lower. Now, I do think that this is kind of like his second best album. His first best album was, of course, last year's Beer Bongs and Bentley. It goes Beer Bongs and Bentley's, it goes Hollywood's Bleeding, and then it goes Stoney. Those are how I rank those 3 albums. I feel like it had great elements. It definitely did improve upon elements of course, Stoney and Beer Bongs and Bentley's. However, There were a couple moments on this album that I just didn't really like that much. Like some of the features kind of ruined the songs for me. Like in particular, Enemies featuring the baby. I love that song, but the baby's part I didn't fucking care about. We had On the Road. That was kind of a song that was like kind of, It was okay. It's pretty good. But I mean, for 17 tracks, 51 minutes, I feel like it was a good effort. It was a good effort. There's some fun, great songs on here. I just feel like if they would have changed some of the features around a little bit, there's a little too many features for my taste. However, I think it was an okay album. I think it was pretty good. I do love it a lot. I love Post Malone. However, it just doesn't go as high above as the caliber of Beer Bongs and Bentley for me. I'm sorry, that was one of my favorite albums last year. But this album, fucking great. A fucking banger. Okay, the Main's You Are Okay album. Really fucking amazing and stellar album. I love the aesthetic to it. I got to see them perform most of this album live. Oh my god, this album really makes me emotional at points. There's really good songs on here, like Slip the Noose. Oh my fucking god, that song gets me emotional every single fucking time. It's just one of those albums where you really have to listen to it to really appreciate every single part of it. You have to listen to it fully. Slip the News is a great way to open the album. Flowers on Their Graves is another fucking emotional song that closes the album. It's only 10 songs long, which is kind of why it's ranked lower on this list. But there really was no song on here that I didn't like. There was, honestly, every song on here was really fucking good. It was a banger. However, if it was longer, I think I would have ranked it a little bit higher than I did rank it right now. 45 minutes. Not bad, not horrible, but I feel like it could be longer, Thank You Next by Ariana Grande comes next on this list. And I will say this right now, I love this album 10 bajillion times better than Sweetener. I honestly didn't like Sweetener that much. There were a couple duds on that album that was just kind of turned me off to it a little bit. But when then she announced Thank You Next, and the first song off the album, Thank You Next, I felt like, hey, it makes up for it. There's a lot of songs that I honestly bang to a lot. There's Seven Rings on here, fucking amazing song. Ghosting is an emotional song. In My Head, Fake Smile, NASA. There's just so many good songs off this album that it was a really, really well-rounded piece. And I bought this album on vinyl, so I can't wait to get that soon. I honestly love this album so much. It's such a cute album. It's such a fun listen to. It's one of those bad bitch albums, too, where there's a lot of bad bitch moments on here. I just fell in love with this album. 12 tracks, 41 minutes long. It's a lot better than what Sweetener had, which was 15 tracks, 47 minutes long. It got cut down a lot, and I feel like Sweetener, it just wasn't their best album. I'm sorry, it's just not. But Thank You Next is a good step up, a good A+ for me, a good thumbs up. Lizzo, Cause I Love You. Lizzo is an artist I pretty much just got into this year, and I fucking love her work so much. From Truth Hurts to the opening track to Jerome. It's such a beautiful melodic album that I can pop on anytime. It gets me in the mood. It gets me hyped. It's got such great elements to it, like the amount of horns that are in it. It's such a good feel-good album that I had to put this on my albums of the year list. It was amazing, and that's why it's high on the list, just because it has such a great replay factor to it. There's so many tracks on here that I just fucking love. Juice is fucking good. Better in Color is fucking good. Heaven Help Me, oh my god, amazing. Boys, a fucking great song. Exactly How I Feel, oh my god, amazing. 14 tracks, 42 minutes long. It's just a great album to listen to pop on when you're in the car driving. It's amazing. It's fucking brilliant. Lizzo, you're doing great work, sweetie. Keep doing it. Release another album in 2020. Top this album, please. Just top it. Top it! Motionless in White Disguise. Now, this is an album that honestly I didn't think was going to make it on my list this year. However, compared to the other albums, I fucking fell in love with this album so fucking hard. The opening track, Disguise, and the title track is just such a fucking banger. We go to Headache, we go to Code, Thoughts and Prayers, Legacy, Another Life, Brand New Numb, Catharsis. It's 11 songs, only 43 minutes long, but it's one of those albums where I can forgive it for its short runtime and just say, hey, it goes by quickly, but you're in it all the time. You're enjoying it. There's not a song on here that I don't like. I'm not fucking joking about this. There's literally no song on here that I do not like. Everything is fucking good. Holding On to Smoke is great. Undead Ahead 2, that was a song that I never thought would happen. Broadcasting from Beyond the Grave. It's a really fun album, and I feel like it improves upon the problems I had with the last album, which is Graveyard Shift. Graveyard Shift's lyricism was kind of messy at points. There's good moments and there were bad moments to it. I feel like they really did improve upon this with this album and really gave you a lot of emotion to it. And I was pretty surprised by a album that's pretty much marketed as a metal album. Like, you wouldn't expect this much emotion into it, and it's just a fucking banger, you know? Taylor Swift's Lover album is number 2 on this list, which I know you wouldn't have expected it now. It's a complete 180 turn from her last album, Reputation, which honestly is a good fucking pop banger album. It's got a lot of great elements to it, but I feel like I love Lover just a little bit more because there's just so much to love about this album. You have a lot of pop elements, you have some 80s elements into it, some 90s elements, you have some new elements to it. You have great songs like You Need to Calm Down. Almost every single song on this album is actually saved to my phone. Like, I have to download it on here. It's a great length. An hour and 2 minutes, a little bit long, but I mean, hey, 18 tracks. It's one of her longest albums yet. It's a great comeback album from going from a bad record label to here. There's just such amazing songs on here. Like, The Man is a fucking banger. The Archer, God bless The Archer. Cruel Summer is great. Afterglow. We love this album so much. It's such a great album. I love the aesthetic to it. I feel like she really, really hits the ball running whenever she releases an album. There's no bad album Taylor Swift's released. I can't deny that. There's no bad album. She's a great lyricist. It's amazing. It's great. It deserves number 2 on this list 100%. And number 1 of my favorite albums of 2019, my favorite album of the year is When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go by Billie Eilish. This album is just fucking incredible. I have no complaints about this album. From start to finish, 14 tracks, 43 minutes long. It's a ride. It's a roller coaster. All the songs bleed in perfectly to each other. It's got very great continuity. You go right into Bad Guy. You go right next to Xandy. You See Me in the Crown. All Good Girls Go to Hell. Wish You Were Gay. When the Party's Over. 8. My Strange Addiction. Bury a Friend. Blah, 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 blah. Listen Before I Go. I Love You. Goodbye. Holy fuck. This album is a ride from start to fucking finish. I fucking love this album. I love this record so much. I feel like Billie Eilish has become one of my favorite artists of the year. Billie Eilish, oh my fucking god. I'm so happy I got used to your music. I was really hoping to see you live this year. However, things didn't work out, but this fucking record is like the epitome of debut albums. This is the fucking what you have to go up to. Like, if you can go higher than this, then you're a fucking god or a goddess. If you go below this, then I mean, it's understandable, but like, really, there's no album that happened this year that really ever touched the quality of this album. This was my definitive album of 2019. God bless this album. We love her so much. And that means we are done with the list of my favorite albums and least favorite albums and favorite songs of 2019. Hallelujah. I am sweating, as you can tell. Oh my goodness, girl, we are tired. We are fucking tired. And that wraps up my favorite albums of 2019. Thank you guys so much for watching this channel this year. I appreciate you guys so much. We've been through a lot. We've grown a lot. We've changed a lot this year. I could not have appreciated more of a better audience than you guys. Thank you guys for watching me. Thank you guys for supporting me. Thank you guys for everything. I hope 2020 is going to be an amazing year, and I know it is. I can't wait to continue doing YouTube. And thank you guys just for having such a great year. I hope you guys have an amazing holidays, amazing Christmas, amazing Hanukkah, amazing what are the other holidays. Have an amazing New Year. This will be the last video I post this year. Thank you guys for watching. I love you guys so much. I will see you guys next year with brand new content. I am super excited. See you guys later. Bye. Thank you for watching. Woohoo! We got through this, bitch. We got through this.
Do you love me?